Hi, I'm Amanda Birch of Amanda Birch Dressage Music, and you're listening to a further episode and a free course of the how-tos of dressage to music. I created this course to be going around the UK during the early part of 2020. Unfortunately, because of the coronavirus lockdown, I'm not able to bring it to you in person. So I've decided to give it to you free of charge from my home. I intended for it to be free of charge because I know a lot of people are struggling at the moment. Everybody thinks horse riders must be incredibly wealthy to be able to run a lorry and have horses, and we all know we're not, and that we're very often living on the breadline. So here it is, a free course, and this episode is about music. Now, most of the people listening, I hope by now, will have downloaded the free workbook. If not, and you're just coming in halfway through the course, please contact me on Amanda Birch Dressage Music Facebook page or on amandabirchdressagemusic@gmail.com, and I can get a copy of this and you can catch up because all of the previous episodes are still on my Facebook page. So, for everybody that's been with me from the beginning, good evening, and tonight we finally made it to music. It's interesting, isn't it? Because it seems to me where most people fall down. I think from experience, most of you go to the British Dressage website and read their very brilliant document of how to get going in dressage to music. And they advocate that you get video of your horse or get a friend out to help you, and you count the beats per minute of the footfalls. And then once you've got the beats per minute, you go off and you listen to pieces of music to find pieces of music that have the right beats per minute. And to me, that's a little bit like mathematics. It's not about art or feel in equestrianism. And whilst we all have to be accurate, I think in the main, if you think about most horse riders, we feel what's right all the time. We walk our horse out from its box and you suddenly think, those footfalls don't sound quite right. I don't think he's level, don't think he's sound. When we're riding a horse, we feel how that horse is delivering the work on that particular day. So whilst beats per minute can be useful, and certainly as music producers, we have our own studio, we would produce music. It is something that, of course, we have to bear in mind. It isn't something that I would advocate you do. Sorry if that's controversial. So what do we do? I want you to be able to ride to pieces of music. I study the psychology of music. I study the psychology of rhythm and how these things can help us. I have a qualification in sports psychology, and I often use music to help people who suffer from anxiety or competition nerves. And so the feel is not only what feels right for the particular horse, but what feels right for you. Sounds, music. We wake up in the morning and there are birds singing, and it makes us feel good. We listen to happy songs, they make us feel good. Sometimes we listen to thought-provoking music and it helps us. So when you come down the centre line, I want you to come down the centre line feeling boosted, feeling accomplished, feeling that you can grab the test by the horns and go with it. Trot music, obviously. Trot, 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 trot. We've got a rhythm there, haven't we? Walk, pace your horse does it at. Canter music. Now, it's kind of a fallacy that if we find the perfect waltz, we'll have the perfect canter music. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It makes your life very, very difficult. Especially if you finish up with something like a Viennese waltz, which actually in the dance, the Viennese waltz, are 8 rotations one way and then you turn and do 8 rotations the other. So that's not going to help you with your horse at all. So I really, really want you to listen to pieces of music and think, does that remind me of trot? Does that remind me of walk? Could I sit and canter to that? Don't rush into having hurried music. We find all these jolly pieces of music and they jivvy us along, and you have somebody sitting up on their horse kicking and kicking and kicking to try and keep up with that speed of music. I want, when you ride, for you to feel that you're on a surfboard. Odd analogy, I know, for a horse, but imagine you're on a surfboard and the music is a wave that comes up behind you and picks you up and carries you forward. It's really contact, connection, so that as you come into halt, you hear your music and it picks you up and you're immediately ready to go. You can choose, and I would suggest, music of a similar theme and with similar instruments. It's very difficult to edit together a very loud piece of music, a very quiet piece of music, a middling piece of music, and then pieces of music that have different instruments in. So when you're thinking about finding your perfect pieces of music, hear a similarity in those tunes. Something that blends one into the other. Think of a theme. Themes are good. Doesn't always have to be Pirates of the Caribbean or Game of Thrones. It could be theatre music, Latin music, classical music, blues music. Another commonly asked question is, can I have lyrics? Yes, you can, but in a 4.5, 5 minute test, I probably wouldn't want much more than 20 to 30 seconds of lyrics, and judges will withdraw marks if you have too many lyrics. It also makes the test very difficult to edit. If your song has a story and we have to edit it so the beginning of the story is at the end and the middle's at the beginning, and it doesn't work. In editing, I like to find transitions within the music so that we come down to a transition and then up again into an upward transition, so that when you hear your test, you know exactly where you should be. You're not thinking where you need to be at the next marker. You're thinking where you need to be within your music. At the beginning, a nice da-da, here we are, or a smile, for example, when my youngster, who was 4.5, the first test we did, my centre line to halt was just somebody laughing, because it could have gone either way. Actually, it was great. I was really, really pleased with him, but it could have gone either way. So at least we gave the judge a smile to start with. It doesn't always have to be something the judges like, and it always annoys me when judges say, oh, I didn't really like the music. We're not there to entertain the judge. It's nice if they are entertained, but it doesn't have to be music the judge likes. It's got to be music that suits the horse, suits the horse's paces, that flows with your choreography. So yeah, I have seen tests where the judges said music's not really my cup of tea. Shouldn't be there. It's about whether it's suitable music. So your homework for this week is to go off and find some pieces of music. If you can't ride, then play the music along to any video that you've got of your horse. And you're going to look to see if the footfalls match the downbeats in the music. So imagine that you're clapping along to a piece of music, and that's what your horse's feet do. I'm going to do another video, I think, about music, because it's also how music affects horses, and I think that's really important. It is more towards how you would school horses with music, but your horses love music, believe me, they love music. I have horses who have particular tunes that they like, and they come into a clinic or they have a lesson and they just look at me like, well, where's my music? That's not my music, put my tune on. And they really grip on to their tune, a bit like hearing their herd. It's something that gives them support and connection, and it's something, if you use music well, that gives you a great connection with your horse. So, as I said, homework. Find yourself 3 pieces of music, play it along to a video of your horse, or if you're lucky enough, ride. Report back. Let me know how you're getting on. If you want to send me little bits of video to watch, if you've got any questions, do that. That's what I'm here for. I think we will go over music again. I just want to make sure you really get the full experience. I look forward to meeting you again next time. We'll be talking about the marks, another important thing, hopefully all 10s. So, good night. Do report back. Have a play with some music. I'll pop a playlist out tomorrow so that you can have an idea of the sort of stuff that I like that might suit certain horses. And we'll do a little bit more on music again. Bye.